I am Sultan Mehmet II, known as the Conqueror, the Seventh, and one of the most famous among Ottoman sultans. My father is Sultan Mehmed II, who ruled the empire before me, and my mother is Lady Huma. I ruled the Ottoman Sultanate from February 1451 to May 1481. When I succeeded my father in 1451, I was 19 years old, which caused many European nobles to assume that such young and inexperienced sultan like me would not seriously challenge Roman hegemony in the Balkans and the Aegean. In fact, Europe celebrated my coming to the throne and hoped my inexperience would lead the empire to an uneasy period. But unfortunately for them, the cases went through very differently. I was sent to Amasya when I was 12, a city in the central Black Sea region, with two of my personal tutors, called Lala, to govern the province and thus gain experience, as per the custom of Ottoman rulers. The education I took during the time I spent in Amasya made a great impact in molding my mindset. I was lectured about Islamic epistemology by practitioners of science, particularly by my mentors, Mullah Gurani and Aksham Satin, whose influence became predominant from my young ages, especially in the imperative of fulfilling my Islamic duty to overthrow the Byzantine Empire by conquering Constantinople. When I turned 21, I led an army that besieged and captured Constantinople and brought an end to the Eastern Roman Empire, permanently cementing its destruction. Following the siege of Constantinople, I kept conducting a series of military campaigns through which the boundaries of the Ottoman Empire expanded into the Balkans, and Southeast Europe as far west as Bosnia, where I submitted a rescript to the clergies of Bosnian Franciscan monastery, ensuring the freedom of life and properties. After the conquest of Constantinople, I called and gathered European artists, such as Italian Bellini, who painted my portrait, and Greek clerics, such as Patriarch Gennadius II Scholarios, whom I made to write a credo of the Christian faith, and got it translated into Turkish and Greek scholars in various subjects. Apart from the Grand Mosque constructed by my order, I established a Sani Saman Madrasa, a university as known today, consisting of 8 particular specialty departments, ranking as the highest education center for a century in the empire. Topkapi Palace is another spectacular architectural masterpiece that I built, served as the main residence and administrative headquarters of the Ottoman sultans. In addition, as a literature lover, I composed a collection of poems, written by me in a traditional style of classical Ottoman literature.
The Conqueror's Triumph is a gripping non-fiction narrative that delves into one of the most significant events in world history, the formidable siege and eventual conquest of the great city of Constantinople. Generated with meticulous research, this digital narration, depicted by illustrations, takes the audience on a thrilling journey through the heart-stopping moments that defined the fall of an empire. At the center of this narrative stands Sultan Mehmet II, a young and ambitious ruler whose relentless pursuit of victory led him to lay siege upon the mighty walls of Constantinople. The audacious and extraordinary tactics employed by Mehmet, such as his ingenious construction of a road made of greased logs to transport his ships into the strategically vital Golden Horn, effectively bypassing the city's defenses, makes the siege even more worthwhile to narrate. Against this backdrop, we witness the last days of Roman Emperor Constantine Palaiologos as he valiantly defends his beloved city, and explore the harrowing battles fought between the Ottoman Empire's vast army and the dwindling defenders of Constantinople, and the pivotal role played by astonishing weapons like the Dardanelles gun and the formidable Ottoman cannons that relentlessly bombarded the once impregnable Theodosian walls. Sultan Mehmet's burning ambition to conquer Constantinople stemmed from both personal and political motivations. He saw the city as the key to solidifying his empire's dominance and expanding its territories. Additionally, Constantinople held immense historical and cultural significance, making it an enticing prize for any ruler. The factors that fueled Sultan Mehmet's desire for conquest were manifold. Firstly, he grew up hearing stories of the earlier failed attempts by Ottoman leaders to capture Constantinople. These tales stoked his determination to succeed where others had failed. Moreover, Mehmet the Conqueror firmly believed that it was his destiny to conquer this great city and etch his name into the annals of history. Furthermore, the political climate of Sultan Mehmet's time played a crucial role in shaping his ambitions. The decline of the Byzantine Empire had left Constantinople vulnerable, creating an opportune moment for the Ottomans to strike. Mehmet the Conqueror recognized this weakness and saw it as a chance to expand his empire's influence while dealing a crushing blow to his Christian adversaries. Sultan Mehmet the Conqueror also sought to consolidate power within the Ottoman Empire itself. By capturing Constantinople, he aimed to establish his authority over rival factions and secure his position as the unchallenged ruler. This conquest would serve as a testament to his strength and further cement his status among the powerful rulers of the time. Recognizing the importance of naval power in capturing Constantinople, Sultan Mehmet commissioned the construction of a formidable fleet. He recognized the strategic significance of bypassing the city's defenses by accessing the Golden Horn, a vital waterway encircling Constantinople. In a stroke of genius, he ordered the construction of a road made of greased logs to transport his ships overland and into the Golden Horn. This audacious maneuver, which made possible about 70 ships to be transferred, caught the defenders off guard and allowed the Ottomans to gain a significant advantage. The main line in the Ottoman Navy for most of its history was the galley. For those unfamiliar, the galley was a warship first devised in the classical era, which could keep moving regardless of weather. The city walls of Constantinople saved it from all the sieges for centuries. The weakest part of the walls is by the Golden Horn. However, Golden Horn was protected by a massive chain that prevented the navy from entering it, and this directed the young sultan generate some unusual war strategies which were not seen and thought before, though the magnificent Constantinople was besieged many times before by other emperors, kings, savages before him. Mehmet the Conqueror also recognized the need for artillery power in breaching the formidable walls guarding Constantinople. He assembled an impressive arsenal of cannons, including the renowned Dardanelles gun, which was among the largest guns ever built at that time. These powerful weapons relentlessly bombarded the Theodosian walls, slowly but surely eroding the city's defenses. In addition to his military preparations, he also ensured the loyalty and discipline of his troops. He instilled a sense of unity and purpose among his forces, fostering a formidable army with unwavering determination to conquer Constantinople. Through rigorous training and strict discipline, he created an army capable of enduring the challenges and hardships that lay ahead. During the time leading up to the siege of Constantinople, The political climate within the Ottoman Empire was complex and influenced Sultan Mehmet II's decision to target the city. The empire had ambitions of expansion, and Constantinople represented a strategic and symbolic prize. Within the empire, there were alliances, rivalries, and power dynamics at play. Mehmet faced opposition from factions within his own court who were skeptical of his ambitions. However, he was able to navigate these challenges and establish his authority as the ruler. The Ottoman Empire had long-standing territorial ambitions that stretched beyond its borders. It sought to expand its influence and extend its reach into new territories. Constantinople, with its strategic location and historical significance, became a focal point for these ambitions. The Ottoman Empire showcased remarkable innovations during the Siege of Constantinople, employing tactics and technologies that would forever change the course of warfare. One such innovation was the use of large siege cannons designed specifically to breach the city's ancient walls. These cannons, known as the Dardanelles, were capable of firing massive projectiles that could cause devastating damage to the fortifications. The sheer power and accuracy of the Ottoman cannons made it incredibly difficult for the Byzantines to protect themselves from bombardment. The ancient walls of Constantinople, although formidable, were not designed to withstand the force unleashed by these new weapons. In addition to the powerful cannons, the Ottomans constructed enormous wooden mobile towers which allowed their soldiers to gain an elevated position for attacks, giving them a tactical advantage over the defenders of Constantinople. The towers were positioned near the walls, and from their vantage point, Ottoman troops could rain down arrows, bombs, and other projectiles on the Byzantine defenders while being shielded by the tower's sturdy construction. Not only did the Ottomans employ advanced weaponry, but they also utilized psychological tactics to demoralize their opponents. Noise-making devices like war drums and horns, and a special music the Ottoman military band called Mater played during the siege, which was thrilling the Ottoman soldiers while creating an intimidating atmosphere at the defenders' side, heightening the anxiety and fear among Romans. Despite facing these innovative Ottoman tactics, the Byzantines responded with their own defensive strategies. One notable defense mechanism was Greek fire, a highly flammable liquid weapon that could be projected onto enemy ships. The use of Greek fire proved effective in destroying Ottoman vessels in the Golden Horn, thus preventing their advancement towards the city's walls. The Byzantines also relied heavily on their renowned city walls, particularly those known as the Theodosian walls. With multiple layers of fortifications, these walls presented a formidable barrier against enemy forces. While the Ottoman cannons posed a severe threat, efforts were made by Byzantine defenders to reinforce weakened sections of the walls and repair damage caused by cannon fire. To further impede Ottoman progress, additional measures were taken by the Byzantines. They attempted to block Ottoman access to key locations within Constantinople, such as the entrance to the Golden Horn. Chains and ships were deployed in this strategic waterway to obstruct Ottoman ships from reaching their intended destinations. Psychological warfare became an integral part of the siege, heightening tension and adding another layer of complexity to an already grueling conflict. The constant bombardment from cannons and the relentless assaults on the city's defenses pushed both sides to their limits. Each day brought new challenges, testing the mettle of soldiers and civilians alike. Another tactic used by the Ottomans during the siege was underground tunnels to breach and surpass the city's defenses. These tunnels were dug beneath the city walls and filled with explosives. Once ignited, the resulting explosions would create breaches in the walls, allowing the Ottoman forces to enter the city. The sudden explosions not only caused physical damage but also instilled fear and panic within the besieged population, and creating chaos and confusion among the defenders. The meticulous construction and placement of these tunnels required careful planning and engineering expertise. Emperor Constantine Palaiologos emerged as a central figure during the final days of the siege of Constantinople. As the last Roman emperor, Constantine's leadership and determination played a crucial role in the defense of the city. His unwavering commitment to Constantinople and its people set the stage for an epic battle against the overwhelming forces of the Ottoman Empire. Constantine understood the gravity of the situation and recognized that his reign marked the end of an era. He embodied the spirit of resilience and rallied his troops, inspiring them to fight with unwavering courage. Despite being outnumbered and facing daunting odds, Constantine remained steadfast in his resolve to protect his beloved city at all costs. As the fighting raged on, the Byzantine defenses came under immense pressure. The walls, towers, and other fortified structures faced relentless bombardment from the Ottomans' formidable cannons. Despite their best efforts, the defenders struggled to hold their ground against such overwhelming firepower. The toll on both sides was tremendous, as exhaustion and casualties mounted with each passing day. In this climactic stage of the siege, Emperor Constantine's leadership faced its greatest test. As the Ottoman assault intensified, cracks began to appear in Constantinople's defenses. The defenders were pushed to their limits, their strength waning as they valiantly defended every inch of their city. Eventually, Constantinople's defenses collapsed under the weight of a sustained onslaught. The fall of Constantinople marked a monumental shift in history, drawing an end to the medieval era and heralding the dawn of the early modern period. It left an indelible mark on global politics, culture, and warfare. The conquest by Sultan Mehmed II forever altered the geopolitical landscape and created ripple effects that reverberated throughout Europe and beyond. The emotional and physical toll on both defenders and attackers during this stage of the siege was immense. The defenders fought bravely, knowing that their survival hinged on their ability to hold out against overwhelming odds. They endured constant bombardment, lack of sleep, and dwindling supplies. Many soldiers suffered from exhaustion and injuries sustained in battle, yet they continued to fight with unwavering determination. On the other side, the Ottoman forces faced their own challenges. They encountered fierce resistance from the defenders and experienced heavy casualties during each assault. However, their superior numbers and firepower allowed them to persist in their attacks. As the walls crumbled and breaches grew larger, hope began to fade for the defenders. Despite their desperate attempts to hold back the Ottoman forces, it became clear that Constantinople's defenses could no longer withstand the relentless assault. The collapse of the walls marked a critical moment in the siege, paving the way for the final assault and eventual fall of Constantinople. Emperor Constantine Palaiologos, the last reigning Byzantine emperor, found himself at the center of the desperate defense of Constantinople. As the Ottoman forces breached the city's walls and advanced towards the heart of Byzantium, Constantine remained resolute in his determination to protect his beloved capital. Constantine knew that defeat was inevitable, but he refused to surrender without a fight. With only a small contingent of soldiers remaining and vastly outnumbered by the Ottoman army, Constantine led his men with valor and courage. He fought alongside his soldiers, inspiring them with his unwavering commitment to their cause. On May 29, 1453, during the final assault on Constantinople, Constantine made a bold decision. Instead of seeking safety within the walls of his palace, he donned armor and joined the front line of defense. With sword in hand, he charged into battle, leading his troops against overwhelming odds. Despite displaying remarkable bravery and skill in combat, Constantine could not turn the tide of the battle. As the Ottomans pressed forward, the Byzantine defense crumbled around him. The emperor's fate was sealed when his small group became separated from the main body of defenders. Historical accounts differ on the exact details of Constantine's death. Some sources claim that he fell in battle, fighting until his last breath. Others suggest that he was captured alive by the Ottomans and executed shortly after, and few of historians even claim that he ran away once he noticed the advent of Ottoman soldiers. Regardless of the circumstances, one thing remains clear. Emperor Constantine Palaiologos died defending his city until he saw there still was a hope. The conquest of Constantinople had far-reaching consequences that would shape the course of history. The immediate impact was felt throughout the region, as the Ottomans solidified their control over a strategic crossroads between Asia and Europe. Trade routes shifted, and cultural exchanges flourished under Ottoman rule. Furthermore, the fall of Constantinople marked the end of an era. It signified the demise of the Byzantine Empire, which had preserved Greek and Roman knowledge and culture for centuries. The loss of this bastion of scholarship and art would have a profound effect on subsequent developments in Europe. Geopolitically, the conquest of Constantinople altered the balance of power in Europe and forced Western powers to reassess their approach to dealing with the expanding Ottoman Empire. The event spurred exploration and colonization efforts as Europeans sought alternate trade routes to bypass Ottoman-controlled territories. Religiously, the fall of Constantinople sent shockwaves throughout Christendom. The Orthodox Church lost its central seat, and scholars fled to Western Europe, bringing with them Greek manuscripts that would inspire a renewed interest in classical learning during the Renaissance. In terms of warfare, the fall of Constantinople demonstrated the vulnerability of even the most fortified cities. The use of sophisticated siege tactics by Sultan Mehmed II showcased new methods of warfare that would be employed in future conflicts. The Ottoman cannons used during the siege revolutionized artillery technology and marked a shift towards more firepower-focused strategies in battles. The conquest of Constantinople presented a significant shift in power dynamics in the region. The Ottoman Empire emerged as a major world power, gaining access to key trade routes and expanding its territories across Southeast Europe, Asia Minor, and the Middle East. The empire's control over Constantinople allowed it to exert influence over European affairs and establish dominance in the Mediterranean. Overall, the fall of Constantinople had profound consequences that reshaped the course of history.
Destur! Padişah-ı Alem Ferah Sultan Mehmet Han Hazretleri!
It marked the end of an empire, triggered changes in global politics, inspired a cultural renaissance in Western Europe, and revolutionized military tactics. The legacy left by this historic event continues to be felt today, reminding us of human resilience, sacrifice, and the enduring clash between civilizations.